So this is the vest. I made two different panels, so the front and the back panel are basically the same thing. We did decrease for the v neckline and then increase again to balance of the opposite side, and I went ahead and did some finishing around the neckline, which is a basic front post double crochet and a back post. I also did the same thing around the armpit hole and around the edge of the vest. This is super easy, so let's get right into the tutorial. So this is the yarn that I'm using for this project. I got this yarn from the stores. It's not available online. Most of my yarn are actually from the stores, so that's the reason why I never get to link them down below. But this is the yarn. It's 150 gram. So again, like I mentioned, the pattern is worked in two different panels, and we are going to go ahead and make a slip knot. And with a 4mm, you're going to insert your crochet hook, and I chained a total of 100, and that is basically the length of my vest. So depending on how long you want your vest to be or how short, you're just going to make a chain that is as long as your vest, but you want to make sure you end up with an even number, so any number that can be divided by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 100. So after chaining a total of 100, let me check the length. So that is a total of 25, but stretches all the way to 26 inches. So now we are going to go ahead and get started with the panel. So again, the mesh pattern, I'm going to chain an extra one. So you're always going to chain one at the beginning of each row if you're not increasing or decreasing for that row. So after chaining one, I'm going to go into the second chain with a double crochet. Right there, and from here on, I'm going to chain one. So after chaining one, I'm going to skip this chain, and into the next chain I'm going to go with another double crochet, chain one, skip this, and into the next with a double crochet, and I'm going to repeat this until I get to the end of the row. So after the first row, I'm going to go ahead and chain one. Like I mentioned, you want to make sure you chain one at the beginning of each row if you know you're not going to do any increasing or any decreasing. So after chaining one, I'm going to go into this first double crochet with a double crochet, chain one, and I'm going to go ahead and repeat one double crochet up until the very end of the row. So I'm going to do this for a total of 15 rows, and then I'll come back and show you guys what the next step is. So at the end of the row, you want to make sure you chain one, and then right into the first double crochet you're going to go with a double crochet and continue the pattern of double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one until you get a total of 15 rows. So guys, right here I just finished my 15 rows, and that is a total of 6.5 inches, but also keep in mind that this is very stretchy. 6.5, almost 7 inches, but it stretches as well. So this is going to be the shoulder measurement, and if you want this to be super oversized, then you're going to go ahead and do more rows, and if you're making this for a smaller size, then you're going to go ahead and do less. I did a total of 15. The one I did for my younger brother, I did a total of 20 because it's more his shoulders are more broad, so I decided to go for 20 instead of 15. But I'm going for 15 because I want mine to be oversized as well. But if you're going for a fitted form, then I would suggest you reduce the amount of rows you're doing. So now we are going to start decreasing for the v neckline, and that's super simple. All we are going to do, you can decide if you want to decrease at the beginning or at the end, but you just want to make sure that you increase at one end, and then the opposite end is just going to be without decrease. So what I did for that decrease, I'm just going to go ahead and turn over. I'm not chaining anything because we are going to decrease, and I'm going to skip this first stitch and go into the second stitch with a double crochet, and this basically marks the first decrease because we did skip that first stitch. From here on, I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to go all the way down with double crochet, just working the same pattern, which is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet until I get to the very end of the row. So because I'm not going to increase on the opposite side, I am going to make sure I add 1 double crochet into that last space, because again, like I mentioned, we are only going to be decreasing on one side. So at this point, I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to work my way up to the opposite end, which is the decrease end, and we are going to go ahead and decrease for the second time. Coming to the opposite end, right here we did our first decrease. I am going to go ahead and just skip this stitch. So I can go ahead and do a decrease these two together, but I'm going to skip a stitch instead. So I'm going to go into this last stitch right here, and I'm just going to skip this. So I'm not going to go into this. This is going to be the second decrease. So from here, I'm going to turn, and we are going to go ahead and decrease again. So whenever we're going down, we are going to skip the first stitch, and whenever we're coming up, we're going to skip the last stitch and go in and just turn. So right here, I'm just going to go into this first stitch with my first double crochet, chain 1, and I'm going to repeat this all the way. I did a total of 12 rows of decrease, which is basically going to be from your shoulder to the center of your body. So depending on, you can put this across your body to see. I did a total of 12 because I wanted to go for a deeper neckline. So you can do 10. You can even do, if you're doing a size bigger, then I think 12 is fine. If you're doing a size smaller, then maybe I'll suggest you go in for 8 rows instead of 12 rows like I did. And I'm just going to get my 12 rows complete, and I'm going to come back because we are going to start increasing, so we can balance off the decrease and the increase and start the other panel for the shoulders. But you guys will understand when I get to that point. So I'm going to get mine done, and I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like. So right here I have my 12 rows complete, and you can see the decreasing from this side to this end. So now we are going to start increasing, because we want to make sure we increase so we can go all the way up and work the remaining 15 rows that we did, because you want to balance this and the opposite end that we're about to do together. And for that, we are just going to go ahead and increase again for 12 rows, because we decreased for a total of 12 rows. So this is my last decrease row, which is row 12. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to start increasing. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and from here I'm going to go into this first double crochet with a double crochet right there, chain 1, and I'm going to go into the same with another double crochet, and right there is going to be our first decrease. So right there you can see I have a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. From here on, I'm just going to chain 1 and go into every double crochet and just repeat the same pattern of chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet until I get to the very end of the row. So right here, coming to the top, I'm going to go ahead and decrease again for the second time. So into this, I'm going to go with a double crochet after chaining 1, and to increase, sorry, I'm going to chain 1 and go right into that last double crochet again with another double crochet, just so you can see that we are already increasing. So I'm going to do this for 10 more rows, and afterwards I'm going to go ahead and do 15 rows of no
Right here
increase,
I
no more
am back with
decreasing,
my
so we
2
can balance
panels
this.
complete.
And
I
in
am going
total,
to
I
go
should
ahead
have a
and
total of
attach both together, which
54
is
rows,
basically
because
from the
30 rows
shoulders. You're going to
of the
attach both
shoulders and
shoulders
12
together,
12
and
of
you're going
each,
to
increasing and
tie the
decreasing. So I'm going to
vest
get that
on and
done and
decide how
repeat the
wide you
same
want the
thing for the
armhole to
opposite
be.
panel,
So
because the
this is
front and
just
the
me
back panel
aligning both of the
are basically
panels
the
together
same,
so I
and I'm
can
going to come
decide
back and show you guys
where I'm
how
going
we
to
can
start
attach
single
everything
crochet or
together. So go
attaching
get yours done,
together.
and then I'll see
So
you
you're going to
guys
make sure you attach those
in a
2
bit.
shoulders, especially the 15 rows you did. If you did 15, then you're going to start at the 15th row and then just attach it to the back. And if you did 10, then you're going to do the same. You're just going to do the same thing on both shoulders. And then you can also go ahead and tie your vest on and decide how wide you want the armhole to be. And that this is just me doing that. I'm going to get mine done and then I'll come back and show you guys what the next step is.
So guys, right here I have the everything attached. I did go ahead and do the finishing. This is just a basic front post and a back post double crochet, and I'm going to do the same for the neckline and for the armpit hole. Already did one on the armpit hole as well, and I'm going to show you guys how you can go ahead and get that done, and around the neckline as well. So I'm just going to do the neckline, and then with the armpit hole is basically just a double crochet and all around. So I'm just going to demonstrate how I do it. That on the neckline, and you can go ahead and do it on the two armpit hole and also at the edge of the vest. So I'm still using my 4mm. I am just going to go ahead and attach the yarn at the center. You can also, I think I'm going to attach the yarn right here on the shoulders at the seam area, and I'm just going to go ahead and make a secure knot. And from here I'm just going to go all around with a double crochet. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and chain one and just go in every available space with a double crochet. So coming to the very beginning, I'm just going to work my way up until I get to that first double crochet we did, because we are going to go ahead and start with row 2. And to end of the row, I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch right on top of that first stitch that we made, just to end of the row. And this is how it looks. Hope you guys can see. So now we are going to go ahead and get started with the front post and the back post double crochet. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and chain one. A front post is basically going right on top, so you're going to yarn over as you usually do for a double crochet, and for a front post you're going to go underneath the stitch. So you're going to insert your crochet hook right under, and then you're going to take it forward, and now you're going to yarn over, pull through, and just do your usual double crochet. Let me do this again. Going to yarn over, insert your crochet hook, take it front, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and the next stitch we're going to do is a back post double crochet, and the back post is basically the opposite of the front. So instead of going in, we are going outwards. So we are going to go outwards, and then you're just going to do a basic double crochet. Again, the front is going to go forward and a double crochet, while our back is going to go backwards and a double crochet. And this is what the stitch looks like. So I'm going to go all around until I get to the very end, and when you get to the end, all you're going to do, you're going to make sure where you did your front post, you can actually see the difference. This is a front post, and this right here is a back post and a front post and a back post. So you want to make sure when you go to the next row, row 3, you're going to slip stitch in front of this. You're going to slip stitch right in front, right into this chain one space, and you want to make sure you do front post where front post is and back post where back post is. So I'm going to get this row done, and then I'll see you guys when I'm harvest complete. This is the final look. I love the way this just feels and how light this is. I am so glad I used the mesh stitch because it feels so light, and honestly, all of a sudden it's getting so warm in the Netherlands. Few weeks ago it was raining, it was cloudy, it was everything else. So I think this is perfect. Again, I'm glad I use a lightweight yarn just so I can see what the difference is with the medium weight yarn. I did, however, try my brother's own and it just doesn't feel, the difference is not much, but I absolutely love the fact that this is a lightweight. And I also think like the yarn just makes everything look so good. I feel like there are so many other ways you can style this and you can play around with this for a different look. You can wear this with a shirt, with a skirt. Now I have a shorts on, so it's so versatile. You can play around with this look. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, if you have a question, don't hesitate to drop them down in the comment and I'll make time to answer your questions, all your questions. And if you like this video, let me know so I'll know. I think you guys like simple tutorials. You don't like the complicated ones, and I'm here for it because I feel like they're so simple to watch, super simple, and it doesn't even involve a lot of steps. So I think you guys like it. Let me know in the comment if you guys prefer simple tutorials like this. And I've also been wanting to try different stitches as well. So let me know if you guys are looking forward to that. If you like this video, again, give me a big thumbs up. I think I've mentioned that already. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye.